16 and 14.
Right, we're good to go.
What page are we going on?
It's on Classstream. It's on all the pages. Yeah.
Hey, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First, I'd like to say, call halal.
Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash.
Give double honors to our apostles and elders. Also, want to say peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Just back in the spirit of another open forum. We're just going to bring out current events and prophecy because that's what's relevant today. It's a lot of things happening. Satan's coming with great wrath because he knows he has a short time. The public humiliation campaign of Kyrie Irving and guys like Ye is happening by the you-know-who's. The so-called, I'll just say, I'm going to just leave it, where it is because we don't want to get the video clip. But Lord willing, we're going to go through the scriptures because this is the thing about faith, and faith is a gift. And it's going to take a high level of faith to get us through these times that we've been talking about for years. Starting with our apostles and the men throughout the order, man. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times and strength of our salvation. It's going to take a strong spirit to get through the shit or hell that's coming to this place, man. Because we actually speaking things into existence, Go ahead.
I got a quick one for you, just what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Luke chapter 18, I'll read verse 7 and 8. And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cried day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily.
Right.
Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?
Shall he find faith on the earth, man? Because faith is a precious thing. Everybody doesn't have faith. Everybody's not compelled to believe, in salvation and divine intervention that's desperately needed for the nation of Israel to get us out of this ugly predicament, man. Because we'll take being faith-based Israelites, on the chin. We know that this is a thing of faith. We can't deliver ourselves out of this situation. You're going to literally need a divine source to remove you out of some of these times, to escape the unsaid pearls that are ahead,
At the end of the day, it's like with the Lord, are you going to, when you don't have faith in the Lord or you feel you have faith in yourself, that pretty much depletes Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's saving power.
Yeah.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai wants us to rely upon him. He doesn't want us to try to hope in ourselves and hope in carnal gains or carnal means.
Right.
He wants us to rely on him at the end of the day. So we're like, look, I'm going to put you in a scenario situation where, look, you're going to have to rely upon me.
Right.
And your faith, like Yahweh Shai said, it's according to your faith. Like the elder Mark out, we cut the camera on, Yahweh Shai said that.
That's right.
If there's something going on, Yahweh Shai said, look, it's according to your faith whether you be healed or not. So it's according to our faith. At the end of the day, if we believe that the Lord will save us tonight.
Exactly. No level of prep, it ain't going to be able to prepare us for what's ahead. Right. It's just going to be purely faith. An outside source, if you will, from the spirit, from the heavens, is going to have to deliver us out of these situations. Go ahead.
That's the common theme throughout the whole Bible. With Elijah, when he was on the run,
right,
the Lord had to make sure that he was good.
Right.
He had the ravens bring him meat.
Mm-hmm.
He took him to a place where he could have water. Even by people coming in contact with Elijah, that woman and her son was saved.
Right.
So that's the common theme and the faith that we got to have to get through what's coming.
That's right. Right. That's right. This is a faithless world, man. Go ahead and get that in 2 Ezra 5, though, about Pashah.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 5, starting at verse 1. It says, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days come, and that word tokens means signs. It says, the days come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number.
And that's what's happening through the spirit. More rappers, it seems like week for week, they dying. That spirit of vengeance and judgment is going out, man. A lot of people, if I can just say, going to be taken out in a great number. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to add on to you, Aaron Carter had just died. There was literally a notification. We were watching the elders, the bishops in Connecticut, and it stated, hey, Aaron Carter just died. And we confirmed it by looking it up.
Mm-hmm.
So the Most High is literally showing people's judgment on a broad scale, on a visual scale,
right?
Public scale, man.
We see these things, and it increases our faith. Like, man, we got to get more closer to the Most High. We got to have more fear and reverence to the Most High. We got to serve with more gratitude and appreciation and enthusiasm. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
God, it says, the days come, back in 2 Ezra 5:1, that they that dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden.
Right, just like it says in Isaiah 6:9, this truth is hidden to the masses. The Lord is only dealing with a small number, few over many, to really show his power. Go ahead.
Yep, and also too going into the times, just adding on to the point, also going into the times with the famine of the word. You know, because you know, when a lot of people start dying in mass numbers, you know, when judgments really begin to be poured out more and intensified, you know, people are going to be asking questions. They're going to try to be figuring out, well, where's those men that were on the streets, you know, talking about, you know, martial law, talking about how pretty much the lights was going to shut out in America, talking about those food shortages, talking about a lot of death getting ready to come. Where are those guys at? We need to ask them questions.
Yeah.
We need to figure out what to do. And as it says here, it says what? It says, "In the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith."
The land is barren of faith. Most people don't have faith, man. A lot of people are atheists now, or agnostic, you know, everything but being people of faith and value. Understanding there's a need for a higher being to weigh in on things, because everything as we know it right now is completely out of order. Everything's upside down. This world is completely wicked. Do as thou wilt. That type of spirit is prevalent in the earth, not faith. But we're gonna come to a time where it says in what 2 Ezra 6, I believe, it talks about faith flourishing.
Yeah,
you know, if somebody want to hold that for later. But go ahead and continue, priest. You know what I'm saying? Unless I know you do.
This 2 Thessalonians 3:2, in that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men, for all men have not faith. All right, because you know we live in such a society that their hope is being diminished every day. You know, because they have their faith in this world, and they see that it is coming to naught. Right, they're about to really become very unreasonable, and as Scripture says in 2 Ezra 16, you know how it's going to be a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, because they're after something that we got. They want what we got.
Blessing.
But God, so we need deliverance from these people because they're about to come down with full force, man.
That's right.
What the line in his saying is being drawn. You know, basically, everybody's gonna have to stand on what they believe. You know, if you believe on the Heavenly Father, then guess what? Like you just brought out, there's gonna be an insurrection. You know what I'm saying? There's a spiritual war that's really just begun with us being addressed on a national scale. Okay, and so this ball, you know, or the momentum of this movement is not going to slow down. You know, to you know, the media is going to get more and more intense on the propaganda against us. There's going to be actual, you know, people witnessing against us. People, of course, vote got wrong, but you have people that's, you know, as it intensified within camps, you know, and not necessarily GMS, but this in various camps is going to give up. You know, people whose foundation out of Yahweh Shah, they're going to give up. You know, and they're going to tell. This is why faith is going to be so important in that time, to depend on that faith, which really goes back to that foundation being Yahweh Shah. Okay, if I may, I'm gonna can I grab a script?
Absolutely.
Just because I don't want to be talking, you know. This is James 1, and I'll start this. I'm gonna get straight to the 6. But actually 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, not wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. Let not that man think that he shall receive anything of Yahweh. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you having that relationship with Yahweh by Shemel Shah is important. As you're going through these trials and tribulations, now it's a beautiful time to build that relationship. There's certain things that you're gonna have to go through that nobody else is going can help you with. Nobody's going, you know what I'm saying? There's certain fights, you know, that you have, you know, brother's gonna pay for you for so long. Then you're gonna have to address it by yourself, individually speaking. We're coming in at that time, man, to where your foundation is going to have to be on point. You have to believe in this and wholeheartedly. We have the tools to survive. We have each other. Don't worry about that, but you have faith that the Most High dealing with you to endure what's about to come.
Your
Work
test.
out your own salvation.
I was just about to
Yeah.
grab
Yeah.
Somebody want to get that to back it up, you know.
It's not a group test.
I got
We can't piggyback off another brother's work and servitude to the Most High to think that we gonna slide in behind him. It ain't the club. Like you get in access through another nine. You gonna have to. It's gonna be by your own merits and means, and your service and what you bring forth to get you out of this thing, man. You know.
And that thing that's intangible, that faith. You know what I'm saying? That's the spirit. That's something that you don't see.
Yeah.
Right? You know, so you build that and you build that faith up through these trials and tribulations that you endure. And there's so many. It can be on your car keep breaking down. Seems like our brothers' cars, the demon was just attacking brothers' cars, man. You know that could get frustrating because you know, simultaneously, you late for camp. You know what I'm saying? All the other things, you know what I'm saying? You look for brothers to pay to send you a certain amount. These are just examples.
Right.
I don't want brothers to think this is I'm not getting personal like that. Please don't take it away. But these are just examples that we go through. You know, you hoping brothers help you out a certain amount. Like, damn, I got this enough. Oh, well, I gotta make do. You know, it's so much stuff that could block your faith. That could make you second guess yourself. Like, damn, is the Lord dealing with me? That no, you go through these things now and be as patient as you can. Because, yeah, you might have a slip where we get angry and things of that nature. You know, but then you gotta bring it back to this is a test. And then with us, and during these tests throughout with these spiritual lenses on, when that big test comes in, we're gonna pass it in flying colors. You know, now is it gonna be difficult? Heck yeah. Heck yeah, it's gonna be difficult, man. Oh yeah. But that's where faith kicks in. That's where the knowledge of Yahweh kicks in. I'm sure all of us ask for knowledge, right? The scripture just said that if you ask for knowledge, don't ask for it in faith, without faith. You see?
Who you reading, James?
James 1:6.
Okay, did you read 3?
I know I can read it for you.
Yeah, just backing up your point that you're saying, yeah.
James
James
1 and 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith workers patient.
Right, and patience means to suffer, you know? So our faith is all being tried to see if we're worthy to be delivered out of here, man. We're likened as fine gold tried in the furnace of adversity. Adversity is what proves our character.
Right.
You know? Go ahead, continue. Verse 4.
But let patience have her perfect work.
Right. So this process that we're going through all this hell, that's us being perfected in faith. Until the finisher of our faith arrives, who is what? Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
You know, we're waiting on the author and the finisher of our faith. Go ahead.
If I just may add on to your point, the author and finisher of our faith, proving that it's up to him. He's the one that's guiding our steps in faith at the end of the day. He's the one that's going to finish it. We can't finish it.
Exactly. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's the one that gives it to us. You know, so it's like that, proven foremost. And once again, it all stems back to him.
Right. Because that's when our faith is going to be perfected.
Yep.
You know, but we going through that process though.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That ye may be perfect and in time wanting nothing.
Right, not lacking, because we're going to be with Yahweh Shai at that point. Once our faith is perfected, our body's going to be changed. You know, want nothing. We ain't going to be lacking in nothing. It ain't going to be no doubt. You know, what's that in Romans 14, the last verse in that? Get that real quick while we've been talking about faith. I know we kind of, but it ain't no off topic, because we just various topics. So it's all good.
Yeah, this is
Exactly. Romans 14 is like the last verse.
Yeah, I was talking about.
Speaking about faith.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I got you. This is Romans chapter 14, verse 23. I started verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Hast thou faith? Have it to thyself before the Most High." Man,
Have it to thyself, like you just said earlier.
Right.
We all got to have our own level of faith. Faith is a gift.
It's a gift.
You know, you can't try to imitate another brother's faith. Nah,
No.
that sincerely has to be put in you by the Most High.
And you can't try to prove that you have faith.
Right.
You know, you got you got cats out there that do videos, three videos a day off the top.
mm-hmm.
But he wicked as all get out.
Yeah.
So you can't just it ain't about proving your faith, it's about having it, dog. You know, and that's the intangible. That's something that's hard to grasp if you have your carnal lenses on.
Right.
If you're looking at things, you know what I'm saying, on this level, the flesh.
It's hard to quantify it, so to speak. You know.
Yeah, like we say, walking in the like if we say something like the law ain't done with this being a spirit. Well, that embodies a lot.
It still means it still takes following the law to the best of your ability. You know, but just understand that the law can't save you. But what does that mean, though? You know what I mean? Like, you follow the law in the spirit. What does that actually mean? You know, if you like Noah, he had faith from what the Lord told him about building the ark. That still took practice. He had to act in doing something.
That's right. It said he moved in faith.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're reading that, is that in Hebrews 11 or is that the one? It
says
says
he was
faith is the substance of things.
well, now where it says he moved because he was talking about
It's
faith
Hebrews 11,
attached to
yeah.
action. It says if somebody can get that real quick.
Which like I mean this.
It's where it says he moved,
Okay.
having the fear of the Most High, he moved in faith or something like that. We can finish this, and if you find it, you can come back. When you
Oh, we're talking about Noah specifically, right?
Yes.
Noah. Okay,
Noah,
yeah, I got it right here. Yeah, this is Hebrews 11 and verse 7. It says, "By faith, Noah, being warned of the Most High, of things not seen as yet, moved with fear."
So it didn't just say he just had faith and he just. Now it says he moved with fear, meaning action.
Yep.
He was called to action.
Right.
Once he was warned by the Heavenly Father, go ahead.
It says, he moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house.
All action. Moved in fear, preparing. That's the same thing that we're going through right now. We've been warned. Now we moving with fear, preparing to hopefully be delivered.
Yes.
You know, we preparing for all of this evil and this destruction to come.
Yep.
Just like during the days of Noah, you know. So I just want to get that.
Faith and fear.
Because you made us, it was action. That's what you were saying. And faith. Faith is a call to action. It says he moved and prepared.
Yep.
You know?
That's right.
Yep, fear of what the Most High will do. You know, if you don't act.
We don't stop.
Right. That's right. That's
We all come to that point to where we're faced with ourselves. Do you have faith whether or not you can rise to the cause? That's all it is, man. Being in the spirit. You're going to be faced with yourself. You're going to have to face yourself.
Even people watching the videos, man, you're going to have to make a call.
Yeah, you're going to have to make a play.
Make a choice before the make a move for you. It's time to make a move, man. Act now.
That's right.
Redeem now. The time is now. Seek the Creator in the days that are you. While what? The evil days come not.
We're close to the evil days. Like, we're not going to keep on saying that America going to get judged. Understand what times that you're living in, man. That's why it says in Ephesians 5:15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. We're in evil times, man. People have really, and this is a sign of a slave. No offense, because we're all slaves. We tend to have short-term memory about, in particular, about the supply chain and things of that nature. Think about the disruption that happened. It's a mere 2 years ago. That's still going to affect what's going on now. It didn't just get massively fixed. The inflation is not getting fixed.
Right.
Right? This sporadic weather is not getting any better. It's coming to a head.
Right. Things are diminishing. The quality of life, everything's diminishing in this place, man. Well, faith should be increasing and seeing such, you know, for the men of the Lord who know what time it is.
Knowing that the Lord going to provide for you.
That's right. That's right.
You know, that's the difference between the men of the Lord and the rest. Is that these people are gonna think and try to rely upon carnal means and rely upon the world, rely upon their carnal flesh in the sense of trying to save them. But Yahweh Shem Shai has it, whereas even when the men of the Lord are going to be in the midst of all hell breaking loose, the Lord is going to be protecting us. That's right. We're going to be on that number. We ain't going to have to worry about eating or drinking or shutting on. The Lord going to have it, whereas his men are going to be good. That's right. But do you believe that? Do you believe that the Lord going to protect you in that time?
Right.
In the face of all adversity. You know, that's a relationship that you got to have with you and Yahweh Shem Shai. Nobody else can have a relationship for you.
Well said.
May I land back? The Lord he proves it to you. When you come into the scriptures and you start to learn about the prophecies and things that have to take place, and you see the Lord actually doing it, you know that he's not a man that he should lie. So we're seeing the prophecies happen exactly how the Lord said it would. So that again, that builds our faith up to trust in him, to be like, you know what? The Lord is doing everything he said he would do. Why am I tripping?
Exactly.
Why would I trip when the Lord doing everything he said he was going to do, and he doing exactly how he said he was going to do it?
He faithful. Why can't I?
Right.
Yeah, you know,
That's right. Scripture. Especially when things come, you know what I'm saying, that could, you know, shake your faith up or test your faith. Case in point, look what happened 2 years ago with the whole jab situation. You see those people, faith were tested. I'm talking about Israelites.
Oh yeah,
And we see publicly Israelites fold, man.
man.
And
How
so,
much more so? I'm sorry, go ahead.
my bad.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna add to it and say, you said we've seen Israelites fold, and we've seen Israelites tell other Israelites to fold. You know what I mean?
Right.
Encourage them to take the goddamn.
But nobody
Juice,
can
man.
do that if you had your own personal relationship with the Most High through His Son Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
Like we've been going into. Nobody can gas you to do anything, man, and crash you out.
Crash you out.
You know, that's what we've been talking about. You have to have your own personal relationship with the Most High and establish your own faith to know what to do and what not to do in these times, man. You know? Go ahead.
This Galatians 6 and verse 4, right? I'm gonna get in the NLT. It says, "Pay careful attention to your own work," all right? And you know, what's that? First Thessalonians. You know, the first chapter it says that faith is a work. You know, it says, "Pay careful attention to your own work, for then you will get the satisfaction of a job well done, and you won't need to compare yourself to anyone else.
That's heavy, bro.
For we are responsible for our own conduct."
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this is all about self accountability. Yes, we have a brotherhood. You know, but at the end of the day, the Lord, 2 Corinthians 5th chapter, you're gonna have to give an account for what you've done in your body,
Right.
not what that brother's done. You know, now the Lord has given us, you know, all things pertaining to life and godliness. You know, to help build us and edify the church. You know, but at the end of the day, we won't have to go to that straight gate by ourselves, man.
That's right. That's right.
That's why Scripture says, "Take heed how every man build," like how he built work with the foundation that he builds upon. You have to take heed how you build at the end of the day. You know, we don't, you know, not trying to have no schisms within the body, within the ministry. You know, not being no hoe ass nigga when it comes to being a brother. You know, the Lord sees all things, and He knows our minds. He knows exactly what you're thinking. He knows what you're doing. You know, you can't pull no fast one on y'all about Shemal Shad, man.
Right.
You know, ain't gonna be in the day of tribulation over here when all hell breaking loose. You've been just acting up this whole time in the time of liberty to get right. You know, when all hell breaking loose, you over here just sitting there. I'm about to snap into a Slim Jim face now. No, it ain't gonna work that way. It's not gonna work that way. You gonna fold. You know, because you wasn't. It's just like fighting or playing basketball, playing football, working out, whatever. You have to consistently put it into practice for it to be embedded in you for you to know it. Somebody can teach you how to throw a jab or whatever the case may be, but until you consistently throw that same punch 500 times to the point where as you just know it, it's different from knowing how to do it versus you doing it for the first time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a fight, for example.
You know what I mean? Like it's different. You know, like you just know this. You just your body twitches a particular way. You just know.
It becomes a reaction,
Exactly.
like a natural reaction. They got a saying in the world that your 10,000 hours. They say before somebody can master something, they have to put the time in 10,000 hours of consistent grinding something out.
Right.
It's a different. You could like sports. You could watch somebody. You could watch a rookie play and then a veteran. The difference is in crunch time, in tough situations, the veteran just naturally knows what to do. It's not a thought; it's a reaction to do the right thing.
Right. Consistency is the key to faith.
The consistency. The rookie, he thinking about it. He look, oh shit, well, he unsure.
The more you do something, the more confident. With faith,
yes, that's
you
it.
shoot 1,000 jump shots in the gym. Like when it's game time, you're gonna be confident. I can hit this shot. I've hit it 1,000, 100 times before.
That's right.
If we can use that analogy, you know. Go ahead, brother.
This is James 1, verse 2 and 3. And I'm reading.
Man, we just breaking all of me out the wall.
Kind of. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptation.
Because it's an opportunity to level up. You see what I'm saying? Which is easier said than done. You know, at first initially you want to try to be positive. man, God, you know what? Got me there. The place start getting low. You like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
like the Lord,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, and, you know, I'm just speaking candidly because you know that's a part of having a suffering, going through those emotional, you know, roller coasters, but standing firm on what you believe, man. Not negating scriptures, things of that nature. You know, in times of adversity, you find out the good things about you and the bad things about you, and you find and you grow up, you level up.
Read verse 3 for you in the NLT. It says, "For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow."
to make hard. That, if I could just say that word, endurance. Go ahead. You finna have another point?
Yeah, like I said, your endurance has a chance to grow. You know, it's just like spiritually in the gym. You know, you go up through these tests that you out there and see how far you have made it. You know, how far you have built up spiritually. You have tests, okay, just like bench press, throw a little more on it. You've been testing and going through this for this period of time, put a little more, see can you lift this. So what can you get through? So we supposed to count it, like I say, all joy when you get those tests. That's like opportunity.
Right.
So the Lord, like, this is how far I've been.
Right.
Because he's a father. He chastens you as a father at the end of the day. He ain't putting that upon you because you can't deal with it. You know, the Lord ain't gonna, like the scripture says. The scripture says this, 2 Corinthians 10 or 1 Corinthians 10, one of those two, where it talks about how, you know, the afflictions that you deal with, you know, that he's not gonna put something upon you that you can't handle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is putting that upon you at the end of the day because as a father chastises the son, he's doing that to make you grow from it at the end of the day.
Exactly.
There's something in you that needs to be purged out of you. So he'll put the hell on you to pretty much burn it out of you at the end of the day.
Growth requires resistance. I know this brother trains a lot, so you can tell you firsthand. In order to get those gains, like the weightlifting brothers say, you need resistance.
That's right.
You know. Go ahead.
This is verse 4. The NLT says, "So let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing."
You can break it down if you want to. You know?
Like you just mentioned, that resistance. You know, you're growing. You know that spiritual muscle is constantly growing, and like you say, because what you're enduring, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be more and more fully developed, as I mentioned.
Right.
Right. You're trying to become what complete spiritual aspect in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah.
Right.
You know, and you have that faith, believe. You get through anything that's tested, like you mentioned, brother having car issues, or you know, you may have financial issues, just whatever's going through your life. The Lord is going to test and see, well, how are you going to deal with this? Are you going to drop everything and say, Lord, damn.
One of the biggest ones, if I can say, when that woman leave, man.
Right.
I know that for me personally, that's a big test, man.
It's a big test.
If you're in this truth, man, you know that really can put Satan in your ear a lot. Like, man, the Lord really dealing with me. Like, why am I feeling like this, that, and the third?
Yep.
But if you overcome that, it levels your faith up. You know,
Right.
Once you get to the other side, you know.
Yeah. Any issues you go through, you can go into the scriptures and maybe, like I say, go to a scripture that's basically to see how to endure, how to get through that situation.
That's right.
I got one.
Go ahead, man.
This is Second
Spirit
Timothy.
is rolling, so I like how it's going, man.
2 Timothy chapter 1 verse verse 7. For the Most High hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
If I could say, when you look up that word fear, it goes into the definition of cowardness. If I'm saying that correctly, basically like you're unsure of yourself, man, and being unsure of yourself, that produces a lot of demons on Jake in general, man, in the world, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, much more so when you're dealing with something spiritual like this here. What the scripture say, him that is evil unto, that envious of himself, who can he be good to?
Do it
You see what
evil
I'm
to
saying?
himself, yeah.
So you got to have a level of self-confidence in this truth, man. That, no, I got this. Yeah, I know I'm a sinner. Yeah, this is that. I got that going. But no. The Most High chose me, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I have the tools to pass any test.
Right.
Not being unsure of yourself, something happens, you flop, you injured, you mad, you turn to incredible hope. And then what? You know what I'm saying? So you have to believe in yourself that you have the tools to pass these tests. And it starts now.
That's why in Hebrews it says, "He that draweth, the soul that draws back, my soul shall not pretty much desire him.
Have no pleasure in him.
Have no pleasure in him." You know, when you get that word "draw back," it's the same word for fear. It goes into pretty much cowering out due to timidity.
Mm.
You know, being like timid or not being brave. You know, not going into a scenario. When you go into being double-minded, for lack of a better word.
Let's approach the throne of grace. What's that scripture?
Hebrews chapter 4 verse.
I know it's 16. Yeah, that's just backing up your point, please. You know,
Yeah, like you gotta approach the throne of grace boldly.
that's right.
And that boldness isn't you thinking that you got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That boldness, approaching the throne of grace boldly, is having that confidence in Yahweh Hashem Shai at the end of the day. Like, man, look, through him, I got this.
That's right.
King David with Goliath.
Yeah.
The Lord taught his hands to war. He knew through the power of Yahweh Hashem Shai, he was going to defeat Goliath.
So there you go. It's talking about that in James. You ask for wisdom, you know what I'm saying? Don't be double-minded. Understand the Most High has you.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of battles that Jake wins that people don't see because they got that, that confidence in themselves, man. You know, you talk to somebody like, yeah, man, a couple years ago, this was going on. Like, damn, what happened to you? Didn't know. Had no clue. Because they had that faith for themselves, man.
They just dealt with it.
Just dealt with it. That's right.
And if I can also add, man, really, you can really boil, lack of faith down to idolatry. The reason why Sirach, the 10th chapter and 12th verse, it says, for the beginning of pride, is when one's heart, turned away from his maker. So ultimately, when you don't have faith in Yahweh Shema Shah, the one that made, planet Earth and the whole world, everything, the universe, right? You're pretty much saying, I believe that there's another way outside of him, whether it may be yourself or Esau or your woman, money, right? So those things boil back down to what? Idolatry. You're putting those things or yourself above the counsel of Yahweh Shema Shah. And oftentimes, more than that, I got a scripture here in the book of Judith, is because basically you're boxing the Lord in, which that's a capital offense, man. So this is the book of Judith, chapter 8 and 15. All right, and during this time, we were besieged, by the Assyrians, and pretty much our water dried up. A lot of our little ones and our wives, and the elderly, they were fainting for thirst. So the leaders of our people, so-called, right, they were basically boxing the Lord in. All right, well, if he don't come within 5 days, then we'll go ahead and bend the knee to the Assyrians, right? But the Lord rose up a woman, Judith, right, and she rebuked the elders, so of their lack of faith. Judith 8 and 15. For if this is her speaking. For if he will not help us within these 5 days, he hath much power to defend us when he will, even every day, or to destroy us before our enemies. So she was basically like, hey, man, the Lord can do whatever he want to do. He still got the power to do. He still got the power to save us. Verse 16, do not bind the counsels of the Lord our power. Pretty much boxing him in. Right?
Hey, if I could land back off of you, Malak, and now what do you see going on? You have these camp, asking these questions. Well, what if, Esau ties me down and give me the hip? How do you know? How do you know you're gonna be fine? You talk like, you're gonna be fine.
They're trying to push their lack of faith on you.
Yeah.
That lack of faith in you, that's what I'm saying. And that moving the whole congregation in a way that shows, a lack of faith, which ultimately shows rebellion. Like like King Saul.
Witchcraft.
You know what I'm saying? When he said, "Oh, the Most High told him to kill all the cattle," he said, "No, I'm gonna basically do hold some back, let this guy Agag go, right, and sacrifice some and do it my way." You know what I'm saying? Which led to really Haman and that and the Macedonians.
Yeah, they came down that line.
Came in that line because he wasn't being obedient, man.
That's why Samuel had to do it, you know.
Right. All these technicalities that the other camps use as a way to rationalize them getting 501c3s. That rebellious spirit is going to lead to their destruction.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's coming into fruition, man. Now it's coming to the point to where, the Israelites are going to be addressing how you're moving that rebellious spirit, that lack of faith spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's going to cause what? It's going to cause your downfall, bro. You had more on that?
Kind. There's some more. Judith 8:16. Do not bind the counsels of the Lord our power. Right? For the Most High is not as man, right? Because his thoughts are not our thoughts. That he may be threatened, neither is he as the Son of Man, that he should be wavering. Therefore, let us wait for salvation of him and call upon him to help us.
Yeah, it's like I'm sorry. It's just the Lord ain't in the heavens over here trying to figure out. He's over here like up in the heavens stressing out, like looking down on the earth, seeing like, man, like, damn, what I need to do? Do I need to do? Like the Lord ain't doing that. Man, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah got the game on lock. Like the game was on lock.
Right.
Like, from the foundation of the earth to the end, the game was already on lock. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord ain't about to sit here in the heavens stressing out. The Lord ain't stressing out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Got the stress ball.
Yeah, he's over here in the heavens over here like stressing out, trying to figure out, man.
Right.
Esau down there going in right now.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? That's not what the Lord ain't doing that, man. Just, it make you think about that with that verse that you just read. Like, you got it. That's why.
It says, therefore, let us wait for salvation of him. And at the end of the day, that's all we can do, man. Like what Yahweh Shah said, which of you, can take thought, add a measure or a cubit, to yourself, man.
Yeah, to your height.
Yeah, to your height. Zechariah 9th chapter, we're prisoners of hope, man. That's all we can really do at the end of the day. So, us trying to bind the counsels or box the Lord in, he got to work like this. This is how I envision me going through Jacob's trouble. And now you find yourself in totally complete opposite of the way you thought it was going to be.
Now you bugging out.
Yeah, now you bugging out.
And now you going to compromise.
Man, I got something. Are you finished?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 12. It says, for who shall say, what hast thou done? Or who shall withstand thy judgment?
Hey, can you get that in GNT?
Yeah, come on. Solomon chapter 12, verse 12 in GNT. Come on. 1 second here. All right, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 12 in the GNT. It says, all right, here it is. It says, this looks a little bit different. Okay, yeah, actually, it's like it says, you created these wicked people, and no one can speak. You created these wicked people, and no one can speak in their defense or condemn you for destroying them. No one can question what you have done or challenge your judgment.
They won't sound like they said. They got everything on lock.
Right.
He got everything numbered. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you have a lot of these people out here. A huge indicator that the wicked is prophecy. You see what I'm saying? When you start changing up prophecy, that's a huge indicator that you're wicked. And a lot of people out these other camps, they have a rebellious heart because they change up and switch up prophecy.
Yep.
What the mark of the charagma is in Revelation 13 and 16, that's huge. That's nothing small, bro. That's not something you just wave on. Oh, it's a conspiracy theory. These guys are crazy. Yeah. Years ago, you had a camp IUIC saying, "Oh, you guys are conspiracy nuts." It's June to where the market, technology is, it could be, the MOTB, but if you take it, you can repent. Hold on, wait a second, bro. This 6 years ago, that was a conspiracy theory, bro. Now you're confirming it, and you're telling your congregation it's cool to take it. That's a huge indicator that something is found in that congregation. On top of the fact that anybody who comes up against you, you do all type of wickedness against that person. All types of man of wickedness. You want to, touch your base. The Most High got you being exposed, man.
That's why judgment must begin at the house of the Most High.
Yeah, man.
Hey, the scripture
Wicked
says, among my people are found wicked men.
That's right. So
You know?
that whole organization is not built on the faith of Yahweh by Shemashah. Yahweh by Shemashah. It's built off of Christ and monetizing. The whole idea of being a black Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah.
Well, now you're about to be addressed by Yahweh by Shemashah.
Made an agreement with Satan, man. That 501c3. All that uniformity, everybody dressed alike. That's gonna get you trapped up, man. Everybody got the same garment and apparel on.
Yeah, you can get mad at us all you want to, bro. You can't do nothing that the Most High don't allow us to endure, bro. We understand that fully. But the Most High is going to judge, bro. Because you build a foundation off of the world and not faith, man. Not Yahweh Shah, not the word. And again, it's nothing personal, it's just business. Prophecy.
Yep. We're in that time, man.
We're in that time, bro. Prophecy.
Shall there be evil in the city and the Most High have not done it? And the Most High gonna take all the credit when he do judge you. Just like we going into, like in that Wisdom Solomon 12, Proverbs 16:4. He had created all things, the good and evil, for his will. So we don't feel no type of way about the judgment of the Heavenly Father, man. He know what he doing. You know what I'm saying?
And he's faithful. The scripture says the Lord is faithful that promise.
And our thoughts are not higher than the Most High's thoughts.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 26, verse 9. It says, with my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. And when you read this same verse in the NLT, which y'all get real quick, Isaiah 26:9 in the NLT, it says, all night long I search for you. In the morning I earnestly seek for the Most High. For only when you come to judge the earth will people learn what is right.
That's right.
Hey,
the brother had seen this funny short video. He had this chart. I think vertically it had the F around and horizontally.
Find out.
Find out.
The more you fuck around,
The more you F around, the more you gonna find out. Hey, a lot of you killers, man. And again, this is nothing personal, dude. We're not out here, you, and then you, and then you. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the doctrine.
Right.
That's it. The technicalities and stuff like that. Hey, the Most High, you do you. There's a lot of brothers out there preaching, they're doing the right thing. But if you changing up prophecy, that's a huge indicator. That's nothing light, bro. If you're saying, the MOTB is 666 white men.
come on, baby.
Sleeping with white women. That's a huge indicator, bro. Especially if you know the correct breakdown of that scripture.
The name of the Lord.
Right.
The name.
Here it is, you going in teaching the name of the Lord before, then all of a sudden now it's just you just stop. Like, come on, man. And how, so, what kind of defense are the people supposed to have when the scripture says that the name of the Lord is a strong tower? You literally are blatantly opening, you're literally teaching to take away the protection. That's what you're literally doing. You like it tells you Micah the 3rd chapter, you flaying the skin off.
Disarming the flock.
Yeah.
Shout out, precept the back of what you just read, talking about. This is Proverbs 19:25. It says, smite a scorner, and the simple will beware.
Right. When you see judgment happen, when you see judgment take place, a lot of times, of course, call for all your how about shit out shot, because at the end of the day, it is judgment. At the end of the day, the Lord allowed it to happen. But a lot of times too, not saying brothers don't do this, because I know I could be better at it. But we got to take heed. lot of times when judgment
You're
takes
supposed to be
place.
taking heed. That ain't no
Yeah.
light thing. Even if your enemy get judged, you still should be
That's
considering
a
your
paragraph
ways.
somewhere too. Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, 'cause you don't want to get into that spirit of pointing finger at everybody all the time.
Busting a bottle.
Yeah.
Now we do jokingly say that, like we gonna bust a bottle and dance and serve people when we see them get judged. But we can do that. But in doing that, you better but consider your own ways at the same time.
Because you better know that judgment will come on you.
That's
What
right.
the heck happened?
She'll come back to you.
That's right.
And that shit hurt. So beware, man. Even with us, you know, the elders and apostles been talking about, hey, you boys been in here for 5, 6 years. You know what I'm saying? You know, you talking like you been in for 30. Meaning, hey, you tell everybody this and this, that, and that. Hey,
Right.
hey, be careful.
Because Jake don't really learn until judgment happens, till bodies start dropping. Then Jake want to consider things
Yeah.
when people start dying, sadly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It says that in Isaiah. It says when that chastisement was upon them, that's when people want to try to seek and pray to the Lord.
Yeah, man. But there'll be a time where family members and stuff like that gonna die.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now you got brought up there. Yeah, I'm glad that person died. Oh, yeah, that celebrity died. Yeah, oh man. Well, when you have to pick somebody tuxedo out, or go find a social security, go to the high school because you don't know where and to find a social security number, then we're gonna see how you fare. Burying somebody is an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so we come in that time, brothers.
Right.
You know?
Let me just finish this. Proverbs 19, 20, and 25. Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware, and reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand knowledge. You know? So lessons come out of judgment, pretty much. Especially if the Most High wants someone of the elect to repent. It might have to be through judgment. To someone be like, man, I need to get right. You know?
Right.
I need to get right. I need to quit doing whatever I was doing, you know? I don't want to end up like that, you know? I know we all kind of over.
The spirit is moving.
That's right. I know. Go ahead.
Can I get Jeremiah 5?
Yep.
It's gonna kind of tie in everything to what we're talking about. Because really, we give an example of faith, and we give an example of people who don't have faith, man. You know, and we're saying that faith is gonna be needed because of the times that we're coming into. You know what I'm saying? The times that we're coming into are going to be very, very harsh, to say the least. So you don't want to be caught naked in that day. You know. Then we're going to expound on, if the Lord permit, depending on what the Saquon said, on what's going to happen during the days of judgment. You know what I'm saying? Jeremiah 5 and 23. But this people have a revolted and rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. Neither say they in their heart. Let us not fear Yahweh our power, that giveth rain, both the former and the latter in his season. He reserveth unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you. So the people with that rebellious heart, you know what I'm saying, that don't trust in Yahweh Shai, and they need their help, those spiritual blessings, that bank account's gonna be negative. And guess what? You're gonna need a cover in that day. Because it's gonna be very easy for the Most High to blow on your house that was made on faulty foundation and destroy it.
The sand.
Saying, yeah.
There you go.
You built your house on the beach.
You know what I'm saying? Because that time is coming now. Not only is persecution coming, but the Most High got it to where persecution coming, famine is coming, war is coming, traditional man is coming. So if you're not standing on Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, hey, you're gonna be in trouble, man.
So
That's right. And it all goes through that process of faith. Can you get that in Romans 14, that last verse? And then we can get the second Ezra 16.
Gotcha.
Just to kind of tie it all together more. Faith is extremely important in these times, man. We always talk about we're in the last days of the last days, man. You know, you got to get worse before it get better.
that's right.
You got to.
You know, that's just the process in order for us to get the kingdom through much tribulation. we enter into the kingdom.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Romans chapter 14. I'll start at verse 22.
Mhm.
Hast thou faith? Have it to thyself before the Most High. Happy is he that condemneth not himself in that thing which he alloweth.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the thing that you approve, don't, the scripture tell you, like, the blessed is the man whose conscience hasn't condemned him.
Yep. And hasn't fallen from his hope in the Lord. Yep, that's right.
Verse 23, and he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith.
Right. So doubt shouldn't exist when faith is in the equation. There ain't no what ifs like we say sometimes.
Right.
You should try to do away with that in your vocabulary. If you're a man of faith, go ahead.
Right. Whatsoever is not of faith is sin.
Right. That's the point I want to get. Whatsoever is not of faith, that's sin. You're going off, man. You know?
Yep.
And that convicts me, man. Like, man, I'm going off by having a lack of faith, by doubting the Most High.
Right.
You know? Matter of fact, before we get second Esdras, I want to read this real quick. This is Hebrews 11:6. It says, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. He's not unrighteous to forget our work and our labor of love. I'm loosely paraphrasing what Hebrews, the 6th chapter. You know? So there's going to be a reward. But faith is the requirement, man. We have to endure our course through faith.
That's right. Yeah, because I know Osmar mentioned this earlier. The scripture says that whatso not is of faith is sin. And we know that pride is the beginning of sin. Mm-hmm. So when you don't have faith in the Lord, you're taking pride or precedence in something else over him, regardless of whatever it is. Trying to go some other type of way. That's pride at the end of the day.
That's right. He is a reward of them that diligently seek him. Matthew 18. Seek the kingdom and all things shall be added. Like I think you said earlier, my wife, consider the lilies, and they don't worry about how they gonna be nourished, but they're nourished. How much more us?
That's right.
I got something.
Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 4. We were talking about the solid foundation earlier too. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 4 verse 4. But the multiplying brood of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from bastard slips, nor lay any foundation. For though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of winds they shall be rooted out. And those winds and the force of those winds is talking about the trials and tribulations that's getting ready to come. You're not rooted in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. If your roots ain't, if your roots aren't deeply rooted in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, when those winds come, like a tornado just take you may see a tree just flying in the sky, whatever the case may be, because its roots either was old or wasn't deeply rooted. Yep. Sometimes you see trees that just, and when those winds come, they just sit there because its roots is deep. So, if you're not deeply rooted in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, when those trials and tribulations come, when the flood comes, persecution comes, when all that comes, man, you're gonna be out of there.
You're not gonna be stable. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of thy salvation. The stability, we're trying to have faith as an anchor. An anchor what holds a ship or a vessel, right? We vessels of the Most High. We're anchored by our faith. That's the anchor. Any other precepts before we jump?
Hey, one more. I'm sorry.
No, we good, bro.
Hebrews 6:19. It says, which hope we have. I start verse 18. That by two immutable things, in which it was impossible for the Most High to lie, we might have a strong consolation, who have fled for refuge to lay hold upon the hope set before us.
Yeah, immutable means something that cannot be altered.
Right. Right.
It says, which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, and which entereth into that within the veil, which is man, Yahweh. He's the anchor of our faith. Hebrews 6.
Could you read that one more time?
I got you. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 18. I saw verse 18 again. It says that by two immutable things.
Yeah, when you read up in that chapter, it speaks about how the Lord couldn't find anything else worthy enough to pretty much make that oath of a covenant that he did with our forefather Abraham. So he put it on his name. You know, so there's gonna be, you know, Lord willing, it'd be us, but there's gonna be spirits that's gonna be saved based off the covenant's sake, man. Because the Lord is not gonna be a man that he should lie.
Let me start verse 17 actually for your point.
Okay.
It says, wherein the Most High willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs, plural, of promise the immutability of his counsel. Yep. Confirmed it by an oath.
Yep. That oath, you know, it passed on down to the seed of Jacob, man, the Israelites.
Which proves that ain't talking about everybody here.
Exactly.
The Lord ain't changing nothing, man. The Lord is the same thing that the Lord said from the beginning. And he ain't changing, right?
That's right.
That by two immutable things,
Yep.
in which
Those two immutable things, in case it wasn't said already, is his word and his name. You know, those are things that'll never go away.
That's right.
That's right. Yep. That by two immutable things, in which it was impossible for the Most High to lie, we might have a strong consolation, and that consolation is comfort. By the two immutable things is the oath that he made, and he backed it with his name, which backing it with his name and his oath is his word.
That's right.
Which we know his word is Yahushua, which pretty much anchors in Yahushua is the glue. He's the cohesive agent that holds everything together through the Lord's name and his oath. Yahushua binds all that together, right? It says that by two immutable things in which it was impossible for the Most High to lie, we might have a strong consolation, who have fled for refuge and protection.
Yeah, that was the part right there, because it made me think about in the law, you know, how you had those places of refuge cities, you know, to where if you accidentally was a manslayer on accident, you'll be protected. You know, so he says we fled there, meaning that we had a hit out on us, man. You know, was that Ephesians 2nd chapter, for we were pretty much natural born enemies of the Lord. You know, but he gave us a pavilion, you know, or a tabernacle to flee to for safety, man, and for that comfort.
And you could also land back and off the point as well. When you went to the temple, you could lay hold onto the horns of the altar, and you couldn't be judged. And on the altar was where the sacrifice would take place, and we know who did that sacrifice was Yahushua, right? So who have fled for refuge or protection to lay hold upon the hope set before us, which is Yahushua. We lay hold upon him at the end of the day, right? Which hope we have as an anchor of the soul. Like you was going into that anchor.
Yep.
You know, like when you in a ship, man, you drop that anchor, man, that ship ain't moving. Right. That mug staying there. You know what I'm saying? This is a solid foundation is just sitting there. Right. And when them waves come, the ship's gonna, you know, may move up and down or whatever. That mug is gonna sit there. Yep. You know? It says, which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, right? It says, and which entered into that within the veil, right? Whither the forerunner is for us entered, even Yahushua, right? Made an high priest forever after the order of Melchizedek or Malach Tazadam. See, so ultimately at the end of the day, the faith that we have, the anchor of faith that we have, our position in the stance of us believing, all that comes from Yahushua is the man. Like he was earlier.
He's the author and the finisher of our faith. He's that anchor, man. It goes back to him. Yeah.
Man, without him, man, we wouldn't be here, man.
Yeah. We'll be tossed all over the place. You know.
Mm-hmm. So man, like even with with Yahushua, with the faith, like he said, damned is he that eateth without he that eateth without faith is damned if he eats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like if you walking into Jacob's trouble with a little inkling of no faith, that little inkling of no faith get your ass blasted.
Doubt seed.
Yeah, I see. You say a seed of doubt?
Yeah, I just said doubt seed.
Oh, my bad. I think
or seed of doubt.
Yeah, it can grow.
It says in faith,
No, I don't think nobody's in this.
faith, the size of the mustard seed, you know what I'm saying, is something that's profound. Loosely paraphrasing. If you ever see mustard seed, it's something that's very, very, very small.
But the trees get like huge.
They get huge.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, just understand, you know what I'm saying, where your power lies, man. Well, I wanted to get with the Saquon.
No, let's go, man. If we come to it, we come to it.
No, I mean, I just you quoted. I just quoted, but I'll read it for you real quick. Matthew chapter 17, verse 20. Yahweh shouted unto them, because of your unbelief. I started verse 19. Then came the disciples to Yahweh apart and said, why could not we cast them out from a demon? And Yahweh said unto them, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you.
Being willing goes a long way.
It's one on the comment board too. Once you finish,
That was it.
You know what I'm saying? Being willing goes.
and shout out to the brothers that's posting on the comment board. This is GMS standing firm too. 1 Corinthians 3:13. Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. So that's what we've been talking about, man. You know, and everybody got to put in their own work. Like that dude told Alonzo on training day, you got to put in your own work around here, man. You know? Any other precepts? And we can just get 2nd Ezra 16 and probably end it out.
I got it.
Yeah.
So this is you want to start at 14 or 17?
Yeah, start at 14.
It's 2nd Ezra 16 and 14. All right. It reads, "Behold, the plagues are sent,
Right.
and shall not return again until they come upon the earth."
Right, and that's what's happening right now. We're in modern day Egypt. Ancient Egypt, what the Lord hit with plagues. Modern day Egypt is being hit with plagues, man. All of these different things, judgment, pestilences that's going out. These are plagues, man. Inflation, the supply chain, you know, all the shortages that's on the looming end.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Hey, just to land back off what this Saquon they said, man. Just doing research, they saying the supply of diesel is at a frightening or concerning low. They're saying they're projecting that the supply is only lasting for like less than 20 days or so. So the repercussions is diesel is going to be more expensive. There's going to be a trickle down effect. You have to understand diesel is like the blood of transportation. Case in point, 18-wheelers, farming, things like that. So if that goes up, that's going to cause the price of living to increase.
Right. Supply
is going to be at a very dire, low.
Limited.
Yeah.
Which they could incorporate rationing food out.
Yep.
For all we know, the whole C-19 thing was really a shock test for what's to come out.
Preliminary.
Depending on what you can buy, like instead of getting limited packs of water, they might say you can only get 1 pack, or you can only get 1 box of rice.
Yeah, what they're already doing it with water.
Well, the elder Mike just said it. That's what C-19 was.
It's a shock test.
They did it.
It's a shock test.
Bro, they did it. We all was going to the supermarket around that time, right? We was going there. I was with my woman. We can only buy a certain amount of shit. We couldn't all that, like how Jake liked to rack up. Rack up.
People are price gouge too, like
You know,
hand sanitizer.
They get the 200. Oh yeah, that too. But Jake like they get them food stamps, boy.
Yes,
$200, $300 groceries. That was no more of that shit. It was if you wanted a T-bone steak, you could only maybe get 2, maybe.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh damn, me and my woman want a steak. Nah, you can only. You know what I mean? The fucking what's that? You just said it too. Yeah.
That sanitary.
Yeah. And my woman was big on that shit, but they were like, nah, you're gonna get one can of Lysol.
Paper towel, toiletries.
Yeah, 1 can of the hand sanitizer. You had to go to different stores. So
Right.
Toilet paper was thin at that time. I remember.
1 shopping cart.
Yep.
Yeah. We all lived through that shit.
Yeah.
And I was up. That's when I was still up top, and it was worse probably up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. It was crazy.
That's a shadow thing to come. Like the other said, that was a shock.
I was loving it though.
Yeah.
I was loving it, man. I was fucking loving it. It was quiet outside, no niggas
Yeah.
outside. I'm like, wow, man.
We had a curfew around here for a little short time.
Oh yeah.
Like for 2 weeks or something.
Oh yeah, no, we had it up top. The cops. Esau wasn't playing either. They was hitting niggas up. But you know, at some point, like maybe a year in, you know, Jake, they still was partying. Jake still fighting with like little bars.
Jake was just getting hotel rooms and just doing
Yeah,
parties.
no, but Jake will open up the club. Then you heard, they shut the club down. They shut him down. Jake is gonna be rebellious, man. And Jake was still a goddamn partying, man.
I was on time at work every day for those 2 years.
Yeah.
There was no traffic.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
It was great being a trucker.
I was loving it, bro.
It was cool.
Oh, yeah, the roads. Oh, I know you were enjoying yourself. I know you was enjoying yourself because there was nobody out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Definitely no traffic.
But all these things that happen, the numbers off of let's just keep it a hoax, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, how much more so when these supplies really get
It's legit.
more and more strained? They already have the technology in place, and also they have the experience of rationing food out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Think about one thing to this day that you can't buy in abundance. Can anybody think of it?
You can't buy in abundance.
A toy.
That's the way you wish.
Limited.
Who's this guy?
It's my son.
That's your son? Yeah.
That's
The
true.
new
That's
guy
true.
joined the camp. Shalom.
That's true, but something that we use every day, think about it. Water.
Mm.
They
That's a
still
good-
are rationing water out.
Con. Yeah.
Think about that. That did not stop.
All right.
That happened. That occurred then when? With the whole C-19, and they have not stopped that.
Yep.
Think about that.
Oh, yeah.
People were hoarding up that water, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Even us, you know, like I had some water stacked up all upstairs. Like I had some.
I got a hot one off the press.
Remember we had all that rice and stuff, man.
Yeah, rice. Yeah. I still got 2 big bags of rice in my house that Yashwan gave me. I got a couple of things of water in my house, but you know, at the end of the day, bro, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with brothers. Well, because brothers been doing that even for years. Like Apostle Tahar, he always keeps like, even before, long before that, like certain brothers, Apostle Tahar, certain other brothers would, you know, keep stacks of water. Brothers always kept, because we drink water. You know, we drink a lot of water anyway, so that shit goes. You know, we push for brothers drink water, man. So whatever, you can have a couple of, ain't nothing wrong with having. You're not sinning for having a little extra in your house, but
Right.
don't trust in that.
Yeah.
Because like, okay, people don't stockpiling, but what happens if something happens when you got to leave, or Esau chase you out, you got to move, you got to leave all that behind.
Yeah. Forsake it.
You might only be able to bring like whatever. Like, okay, I got a pickup truck. I can probably throw. I can only get so much in the back of my truck and take off. But then that's gonna. You understand? So you can't. Yo, I got a whole basement, a whole bunker with shit.
Yeah.
You know, like Esau, like them doomsday preppers. That's Esau. They trusting in the carnal shit. The Lord fed Israel in the wilderness. Right. He fed us manna. He fed us quails. He fed us, man. The Lord. So faith is about. But I mean, you know, for the moment while we here, ain't nothing wrong. The brothers just want to, you know, you want to have a little extra. You want to make sure. You know, come on, brothers got to know how to extrapolate shit and put things in proper perspective. That's it. The truth is really simple. It's not no hard shit like Esau's college algebra and all this other crazy shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you got trigonometry and
Calculus and
all that crazy shit.
Yeah.
You got to figure. Esau's information is, you know, the professor asks you a question. And you answer, no, Mr. So-and-so, no, in actuality, it's like Bizarro the Riddler from Batman. That's what it's like going to Esau's college. You know what I'm saying? No. You kidding, Batman. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a joke.
Riddle me this.
Yeah, riddle me this. Yeah, that's what it's like. You know what I mean? The Most High's knowledge is plain. To understand. The people that can't understand it, they just ain't right.
That's right.
Brothers.
I had one about water before you food. Ezekiel 4:16-17. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, And that word care goes into anxiety, right? Pretty much worry. And they shall drink water by measure.
That's right. Ration.
Yep. And with astonishment.
That's right. And that's Ezekiel.
Got it.
So that's there with the Babylonians taking us down.
Yeah.
Right. What do? They cut off the water supply, supply in general. You know what I'm saying? They cut off everything. The supply chain was disrupted. And what did it cause? It caused a famine. And that famine caused what? Then they start beginning to ration food out, which led to what? Sorrow. Cannibalism. And this time, what do you think is going to happen?
Same thing.
On a more broader scale.
The highest level.
Genesis 15. You should spoil your neighbors for the lack of bread in the great tribulation.
There was a movie. Remember that movie Contagion? I think with Matt Damon. That was a bad movie. Contagion.
Yes.
With Matt Damon, that movie showed you straight up like when that Contagion broke out. That was the COVID shit basically, and then Matt Damon was there. I think his wife died, so it was him and his daughters and kids, and the people next door were getting robbed. The people that and we said we went to see that in the theaters when it come out. Contagion, like his next door neighbors, some other bandits, people rolled up in the house. You heard the screaming, shooting.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be.
On the tape type of spirit,
And that movie we watched here, that was like months back around the time I first got here. Over at Ariana's house.
Yeah.
I thought that was actually a real documentary, but it was a movie. But that happened in New York, like
American Blackout.
Yeah, but that actually happened in fucking New York. I was there when it happened. Me and the elders. I was in New York when that last major blackout happened, and shit. People started freaking out, and the lights were off for like maybe a week or half or so. I was at Elder Gates' house in Brooklyn when the lights went out. Yeah, it was crazy, and so I thought when their brother was showing that movie, I thought that was actual just like real films of what was going. But shit like that was actually happening. That was actually fucking happening. But the lights were only really off for like really only off for a couple of days. But just in that, people were going crazy. Or women were scared. Like, yeah, I was there. I witnessed that. Like, we was in the brother's building. The lights went out. The women was Ephraim. Like, they were all scared. So all you gotta do is cut the fucking lights out.
Break a woman.
All these women with all this pride, like in the gym. I was in the gym earlier. You see them women? They're so proud.
Yeah.
Let the fucking lights just go out. Just let the lights go out. All that shit will just vanish like ice cream melting. Like on a hot summer day, you get an ice cream cone. As soon as the guy give it to you, I don't know if they got ice cream trucks out here. They do. They got Mr. Softee out there. That's the East Coast thing. Back east, we got Mr. Snow, whatever, ice cream, whatever. On a hot, in the summertime, you get the ice cream. As soon as the guy give it to you, it's already melting as soon as he give it to you. You know what I mean? But like if you don't eat it, you just stood there with the ice cream cone in your hand, it'll melt all down your arm, it'll just melt. You see? That's a woman, ice cream. Yeah, that's a new one. I'm gonna start calling them ice cream cones. Yeah. That's it, man. As soon as some shit pop, these women, man, that's when Isaiah 32:9 is gonna really kick in, man. Yeah, bro. It's gonna be a beautiful sight too.
Yes, sir.
Nature's taking its course. I think you and the other got the one body.
Yeah, we did that video. Yeah, me and the other one body.
Course for these women. They're gonna go back to they want to be that feminine role.
Everything gonna return to its natural order of things.
Exactly.
They're starting to feel it.
Oh no, already.
They starting to feel it.
Even now, bro, on YouTube, on my phone, all videos and it's predominantly black women. I'm sorry, black women. They just up there. The black woman is crying the blues right now.
That's right. They deserve it.
But they deserve it. And I don't feel sorry for them. And then older black women in their 60s still trying to be on. I got no man wants me. What's going on? Like they're desperate. Yeah. But bitch, you old. There's a bitch she's 60, 61. You old. I mean, I seen it. She still looked pretty good for her age. There was this one black bitch I saw and she did a video. And not for nothing, high yellow looking black woman. She didn't even look her age. I thought maybe she was like maybe in her mid-50s. She said, I'm in my 60s, like her early 60s, right? Whatever, but you fucking stupid bitch. Nobody wants you, even though you might still look halfway decent for your age. Nobody wants you. Jake don't want you no more, man. Furthermore, Jake want young girls.
Right.
Especially Jake that has resources and options.
Yeah. Con. And that's what my man Samuels was saying. There ain't no man. Yo, they're so but thank you. You listen to the white man.
Right.
You listen to him, you listen to the devil, and the devil was playing you. The white man don't care about the black woman.
Right.
He don't care. But they really thought he did. But now they're realizing that the serpent lied to him. You know? They're realizing it now. Now they ass hurt. And then they expect Jake to come with a cape on, man. No, man, no. Well, you still got a community of panda bears, though.
Yeah, that's right.
You still got the panda bear community. But you know what? That I'm going to be honest, that community is a minority.
Yeah, that's because it's hard to trick nowadays.
Yeah, man.
Trick like you used to.
Yeah,
You gotta
man.
worry about yourself. These bills gonna get real.
Because you know what? You got to let Jake out here. They were former pandas that turned into alphas. You see? A lot of these dudes who were panda bear niggas kind of shook out of that shit and, whoa, wait a minute. You know what I mean? So the Lord is stirring the pot, man.
All right. That's right.
You know? The Lord set up all these different influencers online, Kevin Samuels and all these other different dudes, Fresh and Fit. And so a lot of them panda bear beta dudes watching them guys were like, wait a minute, man. And woke up.
Bad times make strong men.
Yeah.
That's right. There's a spirit that's out there that's putting everybody in a natural state. And really, it's because life is getting harder.
Yeah.
Famine. You women out here, they really about to find out what time it is. Especially when the resources get low.
Yeah.
You can't buy that Milky Way 32. The Cambodian hair.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you could be in trouble, man.
All that nonsense.
All that nonsense.
Well, that nonsense in the place.
You can worry about feeding yourself, man.
Yeah, like Benjamin's
Right. Hey, well, this is very soon what we're talking about. This is very, very, very soon out there what we're talking about. The supply chain has been destroyed for the last 2 years, man. Think about that. Okay? Eventually it's gonna catch up with everybody, especially the weaker society. For women and kids.
Hey, Scripture says the heart of Egypt. It says the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. You know, so like I always make a point, like, even with the Lord destroying Egypt. You know, that was an economic collapse that the Lord did, man. The water supply and the Nile River turning to blood. They got their water from the Nile, man. They got their food source from the Nile. Their traffic was done in the Nile, man. The Lord destroying their crops to hell. Their cattle dying. The Lord completely disrupted their economics to the point where people literally didn't have, they couldn't access their supply. And who knows how long it lasted for? We just read it. It's just snapshots that the Lord gave us about the destruction of Egypt. Who knows how long the Nile River was set with blood? Who knows how long that happened, man?
Hey, they're saying right now the Mississippi River is at a record low.
Yeah.
I think y'all wrong. He said y'all was wrong. Y'all
Yep. And that's the huge way in which they transport goods.
Right.
Man.
The bloodline through the United States, that goes all the way through. And that's how everything is dispersed outside the Mississippi.
Yeah.
It goes straight through the middle of the US.
Put it on a train and then get off a train, put it on a AT.
Man.
So all that's being disrupted.
Ukraine is they call Ukraine the breadbasket of the world. Pretty much a large supply of grain comes from Ukraine, and all them ports is being blocked with that whole. The Lord he's a man of war. The man of war he's very strategic. Right. The Lord is strategic. He's a strategic war general that moves and operates like, okay, you know, I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna cut that off. All right, I'm gonna put ships down here, whereas now exports can't come from there.
It's gonna put all the nations in the spirit where they have to fight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like we to survive, we gotta fight. And
you be hungry, you
You gotta do what you gotta do, and that spirit gonna trickle down to the people, to everybody. People gonna be desperate and be willing to do whatever. You're gonna see the demons on people.
Hey, that's gonna be perfect because a lot of them gonna sign up for that draft.
That's right. Just to eat.
Yeah. That's what we doing, dog. Shoot.
And food is drugs is food to these dope fiends too.
Right.
So when they able to get them fixed, going through them
Oh
withdrawals,
my God.
they're gonna be out there being haywire as well. You know, because it's food and drug
Hey,
administration.
bro, man.
Drugs is food, and
In the
food is drugs.
past 5 years of my life, I see what when you ain't got that,
Fix.
just being with a woman I was with.
Right.
She was on all the medications. When you ain't got that shit,
But yeah,
yeah, like a
a
zombie.
lot of people are on it too.
Right.
A lot more people.
Yeah,
too.
man.
You never know that.
Tweaking.
They own it. The antidepressants and all.
Man,
that.
this is the word.
I forgot the percentage. I gotta look it up, but I believe it was above 20% of women are on antidepressants.
Of course.
That's
Oh,
wild.
I dare say 98%.
A lot of them have so-called anxiety. A lot of women on Xanax and stuff, or something equivalent to that.
Yeah.
Anxiety,
Depression,
depression,
birth control,
chronic pain.
Mm-hmm.
Because all these women, somehow they got something wrong with them physically. Oh, I got fibromyalgia. I got this. Every woman. How the fuck you get? Oh, it's genetic. Man,
Bullshit.
So I get so old.
Some of you overweight.
Really not, but I'm talking about chicks that's not even fat.
Right.
You know, I know because like I told you, I've been through this. Like I have chronic pain. My bones, something's wrong with my bones, and so I have to take pain meds. You know, something's always fucking wrong with you.
Yep.
You know, I've never seen that in my fucking life. Yeah, something's wrong with you, all right.
Yeah.
You know, then when I'm gonna get off my medication, I don't want to take them pills no more. I'm gonna smoke weed. The weed is better because it's natural.
Right.
Then you smoke the weed, you get all silly and stupid with demons on. But these women are all fucked up. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You know what I mean? And you be like, yeah, fucking smoke the weed. I'd rather you smoke, like, you know, I'd rather you smoke the
Calm
weed,
down a little bit.
right, than take them pills at least. But then that shit is just as bad. But then when you ain't got the weed, you all fucked up.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is crazy.
When all hell breaks loose, people gonna lose their minds, man. They gonna go out their wits. They literally are reliant upon pharmakia on this sorcery and witchcraft. So then when all that stops and they ain't able to get their pills, they ain't able to go to McDonald's and get all that madness.
Yeah.
Popeyes, no more Popeyes, man. No more Taco Bueno.
Yeah. Hey, the knowledge and wisdom is gonna be the stability of our time. They don't got it.
They're not practicing fasting, intermittent fasting.
Nothing.
People just whatever they feel in the flesh, they're gonna try to appease the flesh in every way.
Hungry wild way.
Yeah, hungry wild way. Just do it. Obey your thirst.
That's Esau's slogan, man.
Yeah, there's a slogan like that, right?
Yeah, that was Sprite commercial. Yeah, obey your thirst.
Yeah. And Burger King do some of this. You rule.
Oh yeah.
Yo, whatever you want. That's the burger,
Let's read like the last 4 verses.
I got you.
17 through 21.
17 through 21.
Any other precepts, and then we'll close it out.
All right. 2nd Ezra 16 and 17. All right. It reads, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days?
And that's the spirit you got to be in, man.
Right.
Like, who would deliver me in these days that we're coming into? You know? Go ahead.
The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death.
Yeah, all these things is setting up a famine like the elder went into, the trucks and the diesel shortages, Go ahead.
The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear.
The war in Ukraine going on right now, they actually put boots on the ground. Whether they training the soldiers over there, hey, it's boots over there on the ground.
Right.
That's the implication of war. Go ahead.
The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
That's the mindset we all need. What shall I do when these evils come? Right now, we're in that preparation mode of increasing, building your faith.
Yeah.
So that we can be rooted, so we can have that anchor. Go ahead.
Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
Right, to correct things. All of these things is happening because the earth is off course. The Lord is going to stir up these things to put everything back on course. Go ahead.
But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
2/3 these other nations, man, people gonna go harder and harder in their wickedness, man. You know, they've been given liberty to do whatever you want here. You know, the weirdos, they gonna continue on.
People gonna cling to their foundation.
Right.
Some people's foundation, that's what happens when you get put in a hard situation. You grasp on even tighter to what you know.
Right.
They know wickedness, and we're gonna be grasping on the righteousness. So that divide is gonna become clearer and clearer as things get harder.
It makes sense because people are sowing everything to the flesh, not the spirit.
Right.
That's comfortable to them.
Hey, what you think is gonna happen to all these motherfucking transgender motherfuckers?
Ooh, wing! I can't wait.
some nigga or cracker or some spick, whoever you may be, some so-called man that transformed into a woman. When all this shit, like, see, that's when all them demons are gonna be irrelevant. Because at that point, it's either you a man or a woman. So what's some dude who became, I'm a woman that actually got the sex change and became a woman. What is a motherfucker like that gonna do when it's all chaos out here?
He gonna be food for the gremlins.
No, at that point, that's when the few real men that are left around, the Most High gonna put that, because remember, Apostle Tahar been saying this for years. When shit break out, men revert back to their nature.
It's gonna take his course.
So all these, but all the weirdos, all these little, I know what these dudes that became women that became, remember they're true. But even them trans, they got so many demons on them. You can turn yourself into a woman, you're gonna be killed. You're gonna be put to death.
Yeah.
Because men, real lions, are gonna look at you as just a liability, man. You're gonna be fooled. They're gonna say, you know what? They're gonna take whatever resources you have. You motherfucking faggot. No, the motherfucker, they got so many. I'll be a woman, motherfucker. You a fucking faggot.
Right.
But I'll take your shit though. Because they got resources for you to turn yourself into a woman. I mean, you got whatever resources they got.
Yeah,
they got something. You, whatever, they gonna take it.
People gonna get robbed. Man.
Yeah, they're gonna get robbed,
You're
man.
gonna get robbed. Hey, it's either me or you, and you fool to me.
Yeah, you're gonna be fooled.
They're gonna be fooled.
Because if you turn into a woman, they're gonna see a woman. There's gonna be all kind of crazy shit going on.
Oh my God.
And already a lot of them dudes from jail have been being released. Before I left the East Coast, another thing, when I was still up in Connecticut, when I was still living out there in that hood-ass neighborhood, you were seeing niggas out there walking, begging for money, like jailhouse niggas. I had a few of them come up to me, like, yo, man, brother, giving me their story. Yo, brother, I just got out. You know, that's why I knew I had to get the fuck out of that neighborhood, right where I was at. I kept trying to tell that dumb brother, I was gonna have to either you were gonna get me or I was gonna get you. I wasn't gonna be food. I ain't food. I'm a wolf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a motherfucking wolf. I'm the type of motherfucker that prey on other people. You know, I'm not food, nigga. I refuse to be food unless you just really that bad. You got it like that, but it's gonna be a battle still.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Ball, so to speak, out here.
Nah, bro. I'm not the type of food to be food. Not to be rude. You know what I mean? For real. You know what I mean? And when shit pop up out here, every man in this room, we're alpha males, man. We ain't no fuck this truth. All ain't nothing but alpha males in the truth. Ain't no beta males, but it better not be. But the beta males, man, I'm gonna seek you out.
They'll be sifted.
The spirit gonna rise to the forefront in the times we come, so we'll be able to identify that easily.
Well, tell these men, what do we teach y'all to be in here? When y'all first came around us, what did we teach y'all to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, but give me the word. Alpha males. Right? Did we not? What did you learn from us up top?
The Bible is a book of masculinity.
Come on.
Shoot thyself, man.
Right? That we pushed that vibration out.
Yep.
And y'all took it and absorbed it and ran with it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you know, and so you brothers got men of your own, so what you push for these men to be an alpha male. Okay? No beta males allowed. Beta males, get the fuck away. Get the fuck on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, we had dudes.
Yeah, full beta male to get you killed.
Yeah. It's a chink in the armor.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, man. But go ahead, y'all got it, brother. Go ahead.
Just one more verse.
All right, for sure. 2nd Ezra 16. I'm gonna read 20 again. All right. It says, "But for all these things shall they not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case.
Right.
And even then shall evils grow upon the earth."
So it's gonna get worse and worse, man. Even then, when they think they're in good case, it says, "Even then shall evils grow."
That's right now.
Yeah.
Right now, that's the time we're in, where evils is gonna grow. These prices ain't gonna go back to being like they were. On food,
It's not going back.
fuel, rent,
You know what I'm saying?
all of these commodities that we use daily, it's not going back to the old way. It's gonna get worse and worse. Go ahead.
It's gonna be the, can I get Daniel 12:1? It's gonna be the very worst time that it's ever been. So like any calamity or catastrophe you could think of in history, documented or undocumented, the Lord says it's gonna be worse than any of that. Right? Daniel 12:1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael's gonna have to stand up. And at that time shall Michael stand up. The great."
Who's Michael? See, who's Michael? By a show of hands. See, I don't ask you good, man. You help put your hands down, man.
Put your hands
Get a guy.
You
You can put your hand down too. You the top guy.
Turn the light on back there.
I'm one of the newer guys, man. One of the Mesquite brothers.
Can't pick you every time.
You guys, you top guys, man. I already know y'all know. Put your goddamn hands down. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, Michael's an archangel.
But elaborate. I'm a talk to me. I'm gonna get my Kevin Samuels spirit. Talk to me like I'm 5 years old. I don't know. Teach me. You know?
All I really know is I know Michael's one of the top angels. He's an archangel.
Okay, Con. You want to elaborate on it? Somebody else want to take it? And this is a relay race. What about? Okay, well, yeah, go ahead, brother. Elaborate on it, man.
He's Yahweh's top angel.
Okay.
He does. I'm pretty sure the saving or the.
I don't know, man. Like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I'm just a dude. I'm okay. Well, yeah, all right, my dude. You know what I mean? All right, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, Michael.
Go into some history, get scriptures, elaborate.
Okay, kind of. Well, for starters,
educate, man.
Okay, kind of. All right. Well, for starters, Michael, his name means who is like God, right? And as the Lord
pronounce
says,
it in the Hebrew.
Michael.
Okay.
And as Scripture says in Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war, right? So Michael is the Lord's chief angel, for war times, right?
Con. Exactly, right? And he's the what? He's the leader of the.
Yeah. Like the general. He's like the general.
So in rank, he would be where in the heavens. That's right.
That's right.
Right? Con. Right? Okay.
It's like King David had Joab as his general.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Yahweh and Maya Ka'ala.
He's the god of war. Right? Like, see, that's what the Greeks, they got
Ares.
Their shit. Yeah. That would be Ares. Yeah. And really, Ares is really Maya Ka'ala.
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah.
Remember the Greeks?
The
Romans called them Mars, but remember the Greeks and the Romans? Yeah. They set up their own shit. They changed. The Romans just changed, but they took the concept from the Greeks. Yeah. But they just changed the names. The Romans. Yeah, Mars. And Roman.
That's right.
Yeah, Zeus.
Yeah.
Greek. Now, who is Zeus in the Greek?
Oh,
no,
I'm
right.
sorry. Who are you talking about? Who do they say?
Yeah. According to the Greeks, Zeus is the king of the gods.
Right.
So that's the Most High.
Right.
Zeus is supposed to be the Most High. Okay, you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
He had his council. You see, that's why you got to go into the Greek. You got to learn the Greek history.
Was it the Pantheon? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, like Mount Olympus.
Yeah, Mount Olympus. Yeah.
That all started with the Greeks. Mount Olympus, that's the spirit world, heaven. And then Zeus had the council of gods, you know?
Right.
They really got that from Israel. From us, man. You know what I mean? That's all. I'm not saying subscribe to Greek, but you got to learn this shit.
The ins and
be a
outs.
scholar, man, to come in this truth. It's not just learn a couple of scriptures and start talking shit like a lot of dudes do. You got to be able to deal with scholars, bro. Back in the days, we used to go to colleges and shit and debate with professors and the students. Hofstra's University. We got Apostle Tahanum got some of this shit
Some
on.
of the videos,
recorded.
he used to have a microphone.
Yeah, we used to
Yeah.
go to colleges, bro. We used to go up to colleges.
Yeah.
We went to Yale. We used to stay up in Yale, you know, all the time, man. So we got to debate these so-called scholars. So you got to learn. You had to learn and become a scholar, man.
I got a quick precept.
Yes, sir.
This is Acts chapter 14, verse 9. The same heard Paul speak, who steadfastly beholding him and perceiving that he had faith to be healed, said with a loud voice, stand upright on thy feet. And he leaped and walked. And when the people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. And they called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius because he was the chief speaker.
And Mercury was what? He was the god of
I want to say Mercury was the god
speed.
That was Hermes.
That's where Flash comes from.
Hermes and all that.
Yeah, like a god of speed. That's where Flash comes from. The superhero Flash.
Yes.
That's the concept. He came from Mercury. With you know what I mean? All that, man. Hercules, which Hercules realistically was supposed to be a Hellenist. He was a made-up character, but really the made-up characters are based upon truth.
Right.
Which really Hercules will come from really Samson, man. You know what I'm saying? They're based on all fiction is based on non-fiction would be what?
Based upon fiction.
Non-fiction is
fake.
reality. It's real.
Non-fiction is reality.
Fiction is fake.
Fiction is bullshit.
Yeah.
But all fiction is based on non-fiction.
Right.
See, and that went back to the Greeks and the Romans. Well, the Greeks, they set up the whole shit. The Romans followed the Greeks, but they said, we're just going to change the names and this. We're just going to remix it to our way. They were all the same motherfuckers, but the thing was, the Greeks looked at themselves different. I'm sorry, the Romans looked at themselves different than the Greeks. It was just a different group of Edomites that came into power. That's all.
It went back to Babylonian too. It started with
They all took, listen, everything comes from Babylon. They all took from the Babylonians. The Greeks took from the Babylonians. They adopted some of the Babylonian ways. The Egyptians stole from the Babylonians. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? Esau, Ham, Ishmael took shit from the Babylonians. Elam, because Babylon was the first kingdom. And who were the Babylonians? What nation were they? They were Hamites, children of Ham. That's right. Nimrod was the king of Babylon, man. You see what I'm saying?
Gone.
I don't know. I have a feeling. I still believe that nigga Barack Obama is Nimrod, man. I really do, man. I think how the fuck, he was the first and only so-called black dude to become the king of Babylon.
wow.
I mean, look, man, I can't prove it. I can't. Somebody said, well, back that up. And I go, look, man, I'm going in the spirit, all right? Well, we said that. We said that years ago in the camp. It makes sense. Because we in Babylon. This is the new Babylon. That nigga for 8 years, they allowed a brown-skinned motherfucker to become the king of Babylon. Right?
He's African too.
Yeah,
He's a Hamite. He's a Hamite.
He ain't no Israelite. No, brother, this stupid, dumb, fucking dumbass African Americans, of course. Anybody that's brown skin is their people. Okay? You see what I'm saying? He's a Hamite. They show pictures of his father. His father's a straight up Hamite.
You see him play basketball?
Yeah, motherfucker. Come on, that dude wasn't no Jake.
Yeah.
They trained him. They had Jakes. They had actors actually training him to act Jakeish. But he still couldn't do it.
Coming down
the
the steps.
Walk, you ever saw him walk? He tried to walk like, yeah, man, yeah, look. The fuck out of here. Esau could do a better job imitating Jake. Real talk, who's the closest to us?
Yeah.
Esau, what do they call them? Wiggers, right? Some of them might be Jake, but some of them are white boys, right? You know, Wiggers trying to, yeah, man, what's up, man? Esau do a better job imitating Jake than him. Him just don't got it, bro. Come on, brother. I'm from New York City. Man, New York, when you brothers that been there, man, come on, bro. We watched it for years out there on them streets and the tables. Them Hamites trying to act like Jake. Their heads are shaped funny. You know how Jake wear your baseball cap? Like Jay-Z, you know, like Jay-Z and 50, and they would wear the baseball cap with the stocking cap would just look right. You know, like they just look cool. You know, Jake would wear the baseball cap with the do-rag or no do-rag. And it just look right. Like, yeah, you know, right? But then the Hamites, back in New York, them Hamites, like we used to see them down in Manhattan, you know, because we used to be on the oil table selling shit on the street. The Hamite would try to wear the baseball cap, but the shit would be, their head shaped like, their head would be shaped like this fucking bag, like a weirdo rock. The head would be sitting there like this. And they call that stuff trying to do that. Like they really like, you stupid, like, look, homeboy. What's up, son?
I got you. This is Joshua chapter 9, verse 1. It says, and it came to pass when all the kings which were on the side of Jordan, in the hills and in the valleys, and in all the coasts of the great sea over against Lebanon, the Hittites and the Amorite and the Canaanite and the Perizzite and the Hivite and the Jebusite heard thereof, that they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and with Israel with one accord. And when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard that Joshua heard what Joshua had done unto Jericho and to Ai, they did work willingly and went and made as if they had been ambassadors, and took old sacks upon their asses and wine bottles, old and rent and bound up, and old shoes, and clouded upon their feet, and old garments upon them, and all the bread of their provision was dry and moldy. And they went to Joshua to the camp at Gilgal and said unto him and to the men of Israel, we become from a far country. Now therefore make ye a league with us.
Yeah, that's a Ham thing. They were scared as shit.
Yeah.
So the Hamites came over here. Well, they came to make money off Jake, but they come here basically to stay doing the, because that's
They
them.
know the swag.
They said, fuck it, man, let's try to act like we down with Jake. We pour, like, look, what's up, kid?
Yeah.
What's up, son? And Ham, you can tell a Hamite. Brother, you can tell, I know a Hamite right off the back. They got like a dismal, like, you know, you look at Jake has, when you look at a man's eyes, you can tell what nation he is, the spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
When you look inside of a man's eye, you look at a man in his eyes, you know it's Jake when you're looking at it, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially Judah, like you look at a Judah, you know Judah got that intense look in their eye, like, you know it's a Jake. You know what I mean? But with the Hamites, if you look in their eyes, they got that, like, this dismal,
In a daze.
like in a daze, like they don't know what planet they on look, but they try to act cool. Like you they'll be trying to sell, like Jake could sell you something. I know because we did it on the, we sold oils, incense on the street. Them Hamites try to sell oils or try to sell their pocketbooks. I mean, they'll get the black woman, of course, right? But if it was some kid, what's up, son? Your son, your kid. I got the jiggy shit. Humbai. What's up, kid? What's up, son? What's up, Humbai? I got the jiggy shit, son.
And that's why when we get that power, they're going to get back into that. When we get that power from y'all watching y'all shot these nations, they're going to hear the fame of it again.
Yeah.
They're going to get back in line trying to just be down. You know what I'm saying? Yes,
Go ahead. That's right. So they're going to get, that's a good scripture, bro.
Yeah.
They're going to get back into that same spirit of trying to appease Israel. Well, they already have. That's why I brought that up.
Right. Yeah.
Them heathens come over here trying to appease Israel.
Yeah.
And they're going to really do it.
They take our character. They take the stories of Samson and the stories of the judges, the stories of the mighty men that were with King David. All those stories circulated around the surrounding areas and became folklore. And the nations would take it and make hyperbole of it. And take it for themselves, man.
That's what the Greeks did.
That's right.
That's where you get Zeus. That's where you get Hercules. That's where you get Perseus. You know, Perseus, and those people were based upon Israelites. All the Greek heroes, man. Okay?
Yep.
See what I'm saying?
You got it, brother.
Just back
That's why you hear the stories of the 300. I'm sorry. The stories of the 300 and all these other stories, man. Come on, bro.
Well, that was a true story.
You know, they get that story. Where do you think they get it from?
That was the 300 was a
that
true
was a
story.
true story. As
That
far
was a
as-
true
as
story.
far as, the
King Leonidas and all them guys fighting,
Leonidas.
but they were Israelites. They were the Spartans were Israelites. The Hellenists. Jake was already in Greece. It's just like now, and people don't want to believe that shit. It's just like fucking now. We in America. You got Jakes here that did great feats, right? They'll call him whatever. Let's just say they didn't mention that Joe Louis was a black man. Let's say 1,000 years from now. 1,000 years from now, Joe Louis would have been a white guy.
Yeah, or the original Cowboys.
The original thing with the Cowboys.
The original Cowboys.
They were black because after slavery, when Jake got freed from slavery in the East, and even out here in Texas, primarily here in Texas, why you think you said, motherfucker, I see you with a cowboy hat. Are you from Texas? Hey, cowboy, you from dude? Like, when I used to see me back east, I said, well, you know, I always dress with my cowboy. Oh, you from Texas? Right? And I was up in Connecticut. You from Texas, right? You dumb motherfucker, because like this was a slavery state. So a lot of the Negroes, when they got free, Esau didn't want to give them shit. So they moved out here, or they just came and started doing cattle. They working for themselves. They got jobs working with horses, working with cattle. They was okay, these niggas are good. Let them do that. Let them do that. Yeah. So then Jake, to be honest with you, you know who started cowboying? Some of y'all might get mad. Issachar.
Yeah, no, that's fact.
The banditos, they were the Issachar. That whole cowboy wearing the chaps and the horses, Issachar.
They still own it.
What you call it?
Rancheros.
The Rancheros. It really started with Issachar. And Jake kind of learned from Issachar. And then Jake got into it from slavery. Yep. Nobody else wanted to let him do it. So, well, these niggas, let them do something. Okay, let them work with the horses and the cattle. Yep. So them original cow towns, because Jake wasn't allowed in white towns.
That's right.
So they had to start their own towns.
You have to remember that Mexico stretched all the way up through California. And Jake could flee into those areas and dwell with Mexicans.
That's right.
Okay.
And then Jake from there, like that movie with Mario Van Peebles that came out years ago. I saw it in the Posse. It showed you. My man Woody Stroh was breaking it down in the beginning. He said that first after slavery, the white people didn't want to let Jake in their town, so that these black cow towns started coming up, because these Jakes that worked with the horses and the cattle. So Jake said, fuck it, we just set up our own towns. So that whole cowboy and the gun and all that shit, the Cowboys were Jake. Issachar and Jake. And some gang. And Reuben. That, you know what I mean?
Well, I just wanted to highlight too the idolized stories from the scriptures. Like, you know, I was really referring to Gideon and to all these famous wars that Israel had all the way leading up to Judas Maccabees, which out of Judas Maccabees came a lot of stories of the Savior, you know, which was during the Greek period, which led up into the Greco-Roman period, and all the stories surrounding that, man. So you have a lot of folklore, and it's mentioned in Wisdom of Solomon in the 14th chapter and everything like that.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Judas Maccabees in the Apocrypha, right? The Maccabees. Y'all got to read the Maccabees. Go back into your Apocrypha and read them stories. That's where the Hellenists came from. Prior to the time of the Maccabees, that explains where the Hellenists came from. Because when you're reading the scriptures, it's not just, okay, this happened the next week. That was, sometimes the scriptures will abbreviate, because it's not going to sit there going through a whole, you got to understand the scriptures when you read.
It spanned hundreds of years.
It spanned hundreds of years, but it's not, they didn't write it, okay, each year it was abbreviated into a point, but they'll let you know. That's when the Greeks took over and was killing. That's when the Greeks took us down. When my man Alexander the Creep rolled up on Jerusalem, and at that point the Greeks, Esau, took over Israel, but it was already prophesied. Remember? So remember, they was chopping dudes up, but they didn't want to eat pork, sacrificing Jake on the altar, all that stuff. So that's where the Hellenists came from that Greek oppression. So that's where you got Israelite Hellenists, Israelite Greeks, man. And that went on all the way into the Roman Empire. There was still, even though the Romans were ruling, there were still people walking around You understand what I'm saying? The Greeks just didn't disappear. There were still Edomites that were still saying, fuck them Romans. Well, I'm a Greek. My father, yeah, thank you. They were, look, we are Greeks. Because remember, the Romans took over the Greeks and took over, but there were Israelites all mixed up in it and shit in other nations too. So there were still people walking. During the time of the Roman Empire, there were still people walking around, still living in Greece. Still, we are proud Greeks. We're not Romans. And they still were talking about the Ptolemies and Alexander the Great and all that. They were still, those were our great patriots.
Yep.
Fuck the Romans. They didn't even want to bow down to the Romans. You know, Esau is always divided.
They've always been divided.
But then you had Israelites all up in that shit too.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm a Greek. I'm a Greek. So that's where the Apostle Tahar broke it down. When you're watching that movie 300, King Leonidas and the 300, those was no fucking Edomites. The Spartans were Israelites. Only Israel got that kind of valor, man.
They were Macedonians, and you read about the last
Yeah.
Macedonians, the first Maccabees 12. They said they were of the stock of Abraham.
Con.
It says our brethren, the Jews.
Con. But the Spartans, they were Israelites, but they were gone though. They were gone because they wasn't claiming to be Israelites. They were just really. But you know what? They had to know that they probably descended from Israel. They had to know that. But they were totally just, no, we are Spartans. They were all into the Greek philosophy and all that crazy shit. You know?
Some warriors, though.
Yeah, because they were Israelites.
What you say last Macedonians?
This is a little history thrown in there for you brothers.
On their shield, that's what it stood for.
Yeah,
But brothers, I'm sorry, yeah, man.
No, it's all good.
It's just a little bit. This is stuff these young brothers gotta learn coming up. Now we went from Michael to Ark, but that's how the spirit go. So hey man, this is stuff y'all gotta learn, man. Hey man, this is how, like, going back 30 years, this is how when you would go to Apostle Tahar class, that's how, man, you would get fed, you learn. And Apostle Tahar going to the scriptures and then going to the history, you know what I mean? High Priest Ariab was all about the scriptures, but he was going to the history too. High Priest Ariab was big into the history. Even that dude, you know, Yeshaya, I mean, you know, he was wicked, but Yeshaya was bad though. Yeah. Not for nothing. Like, I mean, he would just tell jokes most of the time, but when the spirit would get on him, Yeshaya knew his shit. You would learn something like when every once in a blue when the spirit really got on him, because he was another big history guy. His thing, he going to the Dark Ages, then he'll go into bro, we got fed in One West. You know, certain things had to get critiqued, but we got the basic foundation knowledge, you know? So now the other things got critiqued in the spirit, but the information was like, yo, what we teaching ain't really too much different than what we learned in One West. There's certain few things got critiqued, but what we teaching y'all is pretty much not too. They talk about they call us renegades. How the fuck are we? We're the GMS is the only ones. We're the only real group sticking to the old One West vibration, and we teach y'all to do. We taught y'all likewise, right or wrong. Right? Well, like, come on, are we not still? Right? We still holding to the traditions. We still keep the Day of Atonement, like High Priest Ariad told us. Well, like I said, the Sabbath got critiqued, but we still keep the Sabbath, right? The Passover, the Hebrew, right? We didn't really change nothing. We didn't change it, bro. We didn't. The Apostle Tahar, the bar, or myself sat there like when y'all was coming along. Nah, we gonna be vindictive. Nah, fuck the Ariad went off. You know, we gonna change the whole Hebrew alphabet. It ain't gonna be I by God die no more. Now it's gonna be Sha Sa Ta. You know? Come on now, wicked niggas would have did that, man. But the other guys are doing that.
They're eliminating me.
Yeah, all together.
Oh, Nate, that's what Nate is doing. Right. See what Nate is doing to his men? He started his own shit. When Nate started his own thing, he said, fuck it. I ain't gonna teach what I learned in One West. I'm just gonna change it up now. I'm gonna teach my agenda. Yeah. Matter of fact, we don't got to deal with the Hebrew no more. But fucking Nate knows the Hebrew. Yeah, he do. Nate was real good. Nate was a top Hebrew guy too. You see what I'm saying? How wicked can you be, man? You know the Hebrew. Y'all saw the video?
Yeah.
Nate was one of the brothers that excelled in the Hebrew too. You know what I mean? But he gonna fucking just say, nah, we ain't dealing with that. Christ. But then when the wicked nigga ran into me like 6 or 7 years ago, looked me in my goddamn face, saluted me, said, how about you next? With his Cheshire Cat smile, and said, look, brother, I know the name of the Lord is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and I teach my congregation that. He told me that.
Yep.
That was like about maybe 7 or 8 years ago. This motherfucker, right? And saluted me on the goddamn number 4 train in New York. Shalom! Father Rakah! And all he got, why you hate me? I said, man, I don't really hate you. I said, I hate what you doing.
Mm-hmm.
You being wicked. You going off. How am I going off? You know, like Apostle, what the fuck you mean? How you going off? Mm-hmm. I said, brother, you know what you're doing, man. You're going off, man. Come on, bro. No, I know, Yahweh Shai. But then after that meeting, that y'all saw the videos, he went right on his after that meeting, he went on his tirade.
About the name.
Yeah, nobody was in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Or the
making mockery. Yeah.
The Most High, ooh, man, bro. Man, go ahead. Y'all got, man, bring out some scriptures, man.
That's all I had. So if you want to bring out, then we can wrap it up.
Yeah, I'll just read this last precept here in Daniel 12.
The Most High gonna fuck you. He gonna fuck you up the ass, man. Like, you know what I mean? He the Most High is going. I mean, I don't mean to say it like that, but basically, yeah, the Most High gonna. He gonna stick. That's what I ain't trying to say no faggot shit, but just y'all understand.
Yeah,
it's gonna be that damn.
He gonna deal with him.
That's the worst way I can say it. He gonna get you. That's the most humiliating way I could. Yeah, man, you fuck around with, man, bro. This ain't no joke, man. That's right. We understand, man, the seriousness of this thing.
That's right.
Okay, the Most High is nobody to play with. Apostle Gabar said something years ago. The Most High is somebody to be feared. Okay? Everybody gonna learn that, man. All these people gonna learn it too, man. That the Most High is somebody to be, what he can do to you, man.
Fuck around, you're gonna find out.
The more you fuck around,
the more you find out. I promise you, brothers, this. Hey, listen, man. I can't tell you a few things. I can tell you in the spirit certain things that the Lord, if I'm gonna speak on it. I can't promise any of us in this room that we're definitely of the elect, but I can give you a scripture and say, give diligence to that calling an election.
Sure.
I can tell you that. All I can tell you is, hey, bro, keep doing the work, and that means that more than likely you got to be a man of the Lord. Don't fall out the truth, and more than likely that means you got to be a man of the Lord. But I can't tell you, oh, yeah, brother, you on the ships? Oh yeah, you on the ships? Yeah, I got your tickets, as a matter of fact. You know what I mean?
Go ahead and check in there.
All right, brother, don't worry about it. I'm gonna email it to you. I can't email y'all your tickets to the chariots. Only y'all could do that by your diligence, right? Like, I can't promise you certain things, but one thing I can promise you, according to the scriptures, the people that all these guys that's fucking around with the Lord, they are gonna be destroyed.
Yeah,
that's right.
They're gonna be destroyed, and their destruction is gonna be a vicious. It's not gonna be nice, bro. Imagine your worst fears. That fear, you know, we've all felt fear. When you feel fear, but there's always a part of you like, okay, calm down, everything's gonna be all right. But when you feel that fear, and there's no other part, that part of calm down is just fear and terror and panic. That feeling of panic and terror, yo, man, you don't want to end up in that position, man. I'll say this to all you brothers in the room. Let's say even if some of y'all want to part company from us, it happens sometimes, right? For whatever reason, if y'all feel like for whatever reason, which really brothers should all get along. If you feel like let's just say you just may disagree with the way the leadership is doing things, and you might not just be getting along with certain brothers or whatever. And even if it gets to the point where once you come on a level and you decide, look, I just want to do the work on my own, me and this brother or me and these brothers, we're going to do fine. You can do that. You have liberty in your Yahweh Shai. We ain't going to lord over you. But don't scoff. Don't, remember what the Apostle Paul said. but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and be assured of him which thou hast learned them in. Never disrespect your elders. Never just don't become a demon. Like if you want to leave GMS, you can leave GMS and say, well, I want to go just do my own thing. After you come on a level, under tutors to a time appointed of the Lord. So, because the problem is, a lot of guys, like I said earlier, I said it, learn a couple of scriptures, and then all of a sudden, start talking shit.
Yeah, so getting proud.
I know a couple of scriptures, bro. Fuck that. I know the scriptures just as good as they do. Yashwama and Ariana ain't saying shit. You know what I mean? Right? Fuck that. I know it's just scriptures just as well as they do. I'm gonna tell you something. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Just because you learn a couple of scriptures, man. Everybody hearing me in this room, right?
Right.
Just because you learn a couple of scriptures and you learn something, you still not on the level of your elders, man. Because they got the scriptures and they got experience to go along with it. You understand? Brothers got it. Brothers been through shit in the truth. They didn't put some time in. That means something. I just want to let that sink in. That means something, man. You understand? Brothers have been through shit in this truth. You know, so for you brothers, you know, I'm here, so I'm speaking to y'all. But just go to everybody in GMS. I'll be in Indianapolis next week. I'll tell them the same fucking thing. No matter what, if I go to California, I'm going to tell everybody the same thing. Speaking from the leadership, okay? As of now, I'm speaking as Apostle Ricard to everybody, but I'm here. I'm a part of this camp, so I'm talking to y'all first, right? You know, and it's an honor to be a part of y'all camp. You know, it's an honor to be here with you brothers, okay? But anyways, don't do that, man. Okay? Stay humble. Okay? Especially you young new brothers. Y'all hear me? You understand that? Yeah, man, for real. Especially you younger brothers. You newer dudes. Don't come in here thinking you fly tie. From I'm gonna get you sucker. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Like, you know, don't do that. You learn a couple of scriptures, man. And then you step in the room and that music. How many of y'all seen that movie?
I'm gonna get you sucker.
When he came in the room, that he's a fly guy. Like, don't start that, you know? Yeah, smelling
Right.
yourselves. With the fish in your shoes and shit. You know? That was it, brother. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Spirit got on me to.
Y'all in the spirit, man.
Yeah.
We live too, so
They getting everybody getting edified. Yeah. Man, I'm just gonna read Zephaniah 2 and 3 then.
You got it, brother.
Yeah, so this is we'll close out with this. All right, Zephaniah 2 and verse 3, man. This is what we all want, and this what we need to do to get it. All right, so Zephaniah 2 and 3. It says, "Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment." We know the Israelites. This is for us. We wrought the Lord's judgment. Which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be you shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. Because it's coming. So
hey, that's pretty much beautiful. Hey, any other points?
It's lucky, but I didn't mean to take over y'all's class.
It was all beautiful.
Yeah,
that was perfect.
Went out.
Yeah.
You were speaking in the spirit. I think it came out for a reason. So, with all being said, call Allah.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, peace and blessings to the elect. Hey, till next time, shalom.
Shalom.
PTA.